Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Azaga here, bringing to you another video for Conqueror's Bay, published by Porus Interactive. This is the update log for April 10th. We've got APAC April 10, 1400 to 1700 UTC plus 8. EU/AMS April 10th, 700 to 1000 UTC plus 1. Maintenance is expected to last 3 hours. After the maintenance, we will distribute bronze coin times 8,000, 300 honor, and 15 unit medals as compensation. So for the event announcements, we have the the limited time selected doctrine pool rotation. So we're going to go Fields of Valor. Epic quality doctrines for Buckler Infantry here will be increased. You can participate via X War Scholar. Event duration is April 10th after maintenance to April 28th before maintenance. There is system adjustments and optimization. Open world pathfinding optimized. Pathfinding has been enhanced, reducing manual selection during city departure and supporting sea crossing routes. That's interesting. So I'm hoping that works out because I'm in Bartholia. I'm not sure if it's called Bartholia anymore, but um, sometimes when I'm trying to do my Thief's quests, I don't pathfind and I'm just clicking the thieves to go to, and for some reason, well, not for some reason, but like the thieves on the other side of the sea, I it just pathfinds me straight into the shore, so I have to kind of find my own way across. So that would be cool to see if they kind of fix an issue with that. Anyway, Territory War report system optimized. The battle report interface now displays Pacific battle report score. Interesting. Doop, 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 doop. Most of those things have kind of been there before. Uh, I think the division between totals and most in this case have been split. So it's just like most is probably a single battle kind of thing, and total is like how many you killed throughout the night. Mm. Territory War Settlement Reward upgrade. Starting from the Sealer System, Warlords from the Free House and Legion will receive trumpets. Triumph. I say trumpet like it's the thing. They're called triumphs based on their accumulated battle report score in Territory Wars. Um, Triumph distribution accumulated battle report score. Triumph is 400 to 999 is 100. 1,000 to 1,999 is 150. 2,000 to 2,999 is 200. What the heck? It's 200. Is that what? Um. Okay. And 3,000 and above is three. Wow. Okay, that's weird. Is that over this whole season or something? That seems excessive. 300. I mean, like, it's very unlikely for them to get triumphs from holding feasts and stuff, but man, that seems excessive. Makes sense though. Other bug fixes and optimization. Fix an issue where Tiger's Fist could not attack targets due to teammate collisions during Tiger's Fury and Mighty Slap skill. I'm a little bit worried about this one, depending on how they do this. I do think this is just a. I did believe that Tiger Fist just was not really good when they were with other units, was just because they kind of had adhere to like friendly collision, but not their own. So it's just like it was a weird back and forth kind of thing. But maybe this will make them a little bit more consistent. But I do know that Tiger's Fists don't naturally have ignore collision or on seek. So that's an interesting thing. Optimize the skill judgment range of Tiger's Fist active skill Mighty Slap. That's a good one. Again, like a lot of their skills are short range, so it feels like the Tiger's Fist really need to get in there. One of the things that I kind of keep in the back of my head is infantry units, especially like the short range ones, need to be really aggressive with their attacks, as in like every time they attack, they need to move forward, kind of thing. So particularly for Tiger Fist, who don't have defensive options to say, they need to close the distance immediately. Like they need to be point blank on top of someone and just beating the shit out of them. Not that they're any good or anything. Tiger Fist again is an undersized unit that barely does enough damage, and that's only when considering on a per model basis. Um, in total damage, they're like their unit, as in totality, is actually quite um, underpowered to say. Um, so what you're trying to take advantage of with the Tiger's Fist is their natural tankiness plus their like uh, extreme levels of block break. Not that like other units don't have like high level block break. It's just that these guys have a little bit more block break than what you're probably used to. Fix a probability issue where the mastery node rejuvenate of Imperial Spearguard did not take effect. That was an interesting one. I actually did notice this sometimes that Imperial Spearguards would not heal naturally sometimes. So that one was a weird one, but I never reported it, so that's also on me. Fix an issue where some buckler units would repeatedly raise their shield when attacked by ranged attack. That's amazing. That's kind of like a long time issue, which I never expected them to ever fix because it was just kind of like a meaningless. It was just meaningless animation to me. Fix an issue where Demez Crossbowmen and Demez Arbalest could not deal damage with melee attacks. Not that that's important. Their melee attack would deal like 50 damage or something. Fix an issue where Wu Wei Magic Guards could not equip certain basic piercing and slashing doctrines. Further adjustments will be made to the description about the applicable range of some exclusive doctrines. Ooh. Well, I mean, again, doctrine balancing is always just one of the things where I'm just like, is doctrine supposed to be something that balances units, or is doctrine something that's added on in order to make things interesting? I, for one, think that doctrine should not be counted as balance and definitely should be kept on the interesting range. But you need a division between competitive level and having fun because people want to be serious and people want to have fun. So I think they really need to create or introduce battles without doctrines. And as a long time player, we used to have free battles that were cross server and had doctrines disabled. The reason why doctrines was disabled is because we match made with the NetEase side. if and the NetEase side had way better doctrines, though they also had way better equipment because they would just shit on us with like maxed out epic gear. So I do have PTSD from like longbows back in the day. Still, I never actually experienced legendary doctrines fighting against legendary doctrines or fighting with legendary doctrines. So I'm not sure on the NetEase side how bad it really is, and it sometimes makes me wonder whether or not the developers have this notion or has this other side of the game that they have to consider when balancing units, and that's one of the reasons why I think sometimes random changes just come in out of nowhere is because we're not seeing the same thing, and that's really important to me. So I do think that like it probably won't happen, but I just want to put that out there that um I want to put that out there. Just like, do you think doctrines are part of balance, or do you think doctrines should be fun and shouldn't have too much to think about it, and we should have a game mode where it's where doctrines are disabled, or just have doctrines disabled for ranked kind of thing. Fixed an issue where Vanguard displayed abnormalities in the U interface. Okay, sure. Fix an issue where the description was abnormal in the U unit creation interface when no material were needed. Okay, I don't know what that is about. Fix an issue where the epic quality snow mortar has too low damage. After the fix, it will be consistent with the epic quality mortar damage. I actually have noticed this. I've been hit by these snow mortars in particular, and they actually dealt no damage sometimes. Whether or not it was because like the snow mortar for some reason is statted wrong, or would would sometimes just like an error would occur. But like I know for a fact that like I had a snow mortar, and for some reason it was doing like a third of or like a quarter of the damage of like an epic quality mortar for some reason. So direct hits were just like basically nothing, but like the explosion was almost the same. So it was very weird. It was very weird. Also, I do know that like snow mortars swap out the burn for a slow, so that's also an interesting thing. Fix an issue where the text display was abnormal in the Legion title interface. Fix an issue where the interface might freeze after setting filters in the unit deployment interface. Okay. Um, yeah, I've not experienced this one in particular, but I can see why that would be really, really, really bad. Fix an issue where the loading image might load repeatedly. I've had different loading images load. I'm not sure if it's the same image loading repeatedly. I've not noticed that or something. Might be something in the background. Fixed an issue where the Sauton level music was missing. Honestly, I have not noticed music. Oh wait, no. I turned off the music. What am I mean, I've turned off the music, so that's why I've never noticed the music. So like again, not an issue I noticed. But yeah, generally all good, okay. Um, Very interesting to see that we still don't have the Spartan and the Phalanx nerfs. So it is good to see that they're taking our feedback, though I'm really hoping that Spartans do get a another run through. I do know that the tier 5s on PTR are being tested right now. They're getting released in a couple of days, so I'm hoping that they don't roll the changes onto live, and we just have the weakened version of the tier 5s instead of the upgraded ones, because one of the things that one of the other testers have demonstrated is that their win step actually gives them invulnerability, which can have some interesting implications, particularly with uh, very burst heavy against very burst heavy scenarios. But in retrospect, it's gonna be highly unlikely to be a consistent issue. It's going to be kind of like one of those one-off scenarios where it's just going to be really, really difficult to deal with them without constantly pressuring them. But yeah, that is the update logs for this week. I hope you guys are still enjoying the game and looking forward to the testing out the tier 5s on live, whether or not you don't like the tier 5s or not. Um, that's also another thing. I definitely do think CB is at a turning point. This season looks to be kind of righting the wrongs that have been happening, but it's still slow. Nevertheless, nothing so far from their reply to now has led me to believe that they are rushing things or have done anything that wasn't positive. So everything is looking good, but it's still in the very slow to change pace. We're waiting for the balance changes to shake up the meta, balance out your game, and I'm hoping that like some of these bug fixes don't cause more issues. Again, I'm going to be worried about this one in particular. I don't like the phasing collision, but I totally understand why everyone thinks it's annoying. But I don't like when all of the units are just balled up into one tight space. If anything, and if anyone actually used the whooshing pikemen, that is exactly how I want battles to feel like. If everyone just used whooshing pikemen, that would be it. The battle would just feel so massive, so massive. Still does to an extent, but um, the whooshing pikemen are my go-to example when we're talking about collision, particularly while attacking. But that is all for well, that is all, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. But on that, my name is Sasuke. Have a nice day. Bye for now.